Okay. This is Talkaoke. Come and join us if you don't know what this is. It's just simply a pop-up talk show where you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. My name's Mikey. What's your name? Come and join us. I'll hit you with a round of applause. Yes. Yes, don't be shy. There's nobody here. It doesn't matter. My name's Mikey. What's your name?
Dan.
Dan and...
Esther.
Say again? Esther. Okay. Come and have a seat. Don't be shy. There's no contractual obligation. You don't have to stay for any amount of time, but it'll be great to have you as my first customers of the day. My name's Mikey. Yep, that's right. And this is Talkaoke Pop-Up Talk Show. If you don't know what it is, it's simply talking to this microphone. That's nothing more complicated than that. Yes, come and join. We have got Dan, we've got Esther, we've got me, Mikey. What's your name?
Richard, yeah.
Richard? You're busy?
I'm ambulant, yeah.
You're ambulant?
Yeah.
Instead of somnambulant, I suppose. Dan, what are you doing here today?
Looks like you've got a job.
Well, it looks like I'm setting up projections
Yeah.
with other people.
Have you got any experience of this?
Yes.
Yeah? What is your experience?
Well,
Come and join us.
I'm helping the other technicians putting
Yeah.
this stuff together.
Yeah? Is it the
think we're
first
gonna
time
need
you've
these.
done that?
No, sadly, it's not.
No? Come and join us. We got Dan and Mikey. What's your name?
Ada.
What was it?
Ada.
Ada. Okay, let me hit you with a round of applause. So this is Talkaoke Pop-Up Talk Show. We're here at the Resistance exhibition. We've got Dan that's been setting up projectors all day. What have you been doing here today, Ada?
Just visiting.
Yeah? Have you seen anything interesting apart from Talkaoke?
It's all good.
Yeah? What brings you to... What's that? You don't... Okay. All right. Okay. Normally that's fine, but we've only got two people here. We're going to build up. And then, you know, it's not... It's up to you to decide what you want to talk about. But I'm just going to focus more on Dan, if that's okay. Dan, is that okay with...
If you wish, yeah.
Yes.
You don't know what you're buying, but yeah.
So, you've been setting up projectors today. Has there been any challenges to the
Yeah.
projections?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just technical challenges, and
Yeah.
I've seen these materials way too many times.
Okay,
And
you've
it's
seen
supposed
it.
to be very inspiring and all that, and I'm not really being inspired by it anymore.
Do we need a kind of a new era of visuals, a new era to inspire us all over again?
No, I think we need to start building these things.
Start building.
Yeah, I mean, we should have started building earlier, but we still could start building them instead of just showing them off. And
What kind of things should we be building?
solutionary things,
Yeah.
like solutions,
Okay.
technical and social and environmental.
Just build it ourselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Ada, I'm going to have to bring you in here a little bit. Just give us a nod. Do you agree with Dan? Yeah, okay.
We have a showcase of all this
by
stuff.
the way. I appreciate that. The Talkaoke is not for everybody, but thanks for coming to sit down and being present. I kind of agree with you about this, I've got to say. What?
We've been showcasing this stuff for so long,
Yeah.
and I still don't see it
Yeah.
actually happening.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that pop up
Yeah.
on social media, they disappear just the way they pop up. And
Yeah.
they're amazing ideas.
So the idea happens, but no one really sees it through.
Yeah. Or if they do, it becomes some kind of greenwashing industrial thing.
Yeah.
So I would like to be one of the people who do start building things on a more...
All right, give us an example of one thing you'd like to build.
Well, I would like to provide locally sourced energy to people just
Yeah.
as much as they actually consciously need.
I
So
mean-
to teach them how to know how much energy do you really need,
Where
what kind
are
of
you
appliances. I'm kind of homeless
Okay.
in London, but I'm at Abbey Wood. I'm occupying a housing estate right now in a protest sort of
Yeah.
manner.
But where is that?
Southeast London, Thamesmead.
Okay, is Thamesmead a good place for like having its own energy source?
Well, Pooh will be the most
Yeah.
locally sourced thing, yeah, because there's like a pool treatment facility
Yeah.
handling millions of people's waste. So
Yeah.
I think they would start They should start with that.
I mean, you know what they say, come and join us again. We're talking about,
Biomethane.
but yeah, we're talking about can we actually use people's fecal waste as an energy source? And what kind of energy source would it be? Would it be a solid energy source, a gas energy source? And should we, I mean, what Dan is saying is, okay, we've been saying this, we've been campaigning, we see a different, more sustainable future. But Dan's saying we just got to get on and build it. Have you got any views on this? Do you agree with this, that we just got to do it? Like, for example, we've got this huge source of effluent coming down to Thamesmead, and I guess it's just treated. What happens to it now? It gets treated and it gets just flushed into the Thames?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Smells like it.
We could be using that. We could actually be using, I guess, the heat from that, the gas from that, the solid matter from that for energy. Any thoughts on this?
I'm not expert of the area, and out of my interest, because my lifetime is limited,
Yeah.
I have my interest of area of interest. This is not that.
What are your interests?
Doesn't matter yet.
Well, I mean, I'm interested in your interests. What kind of, what would you like to do with the rest of your life? If you're saying your life is limited, what are you going to spend those limited years doing?
Already specialized on other source of renewable energies, teaching people how to build their own solar system and so
Right.
on.
Okay.
But making energy from shit is basically, there are experts already working on that. I'm not that.
Okay, so you're
So
favouring this.
I don't want to do guesswork on something I have no clue about.
Yeah. So you would rather go for the solar.
I rather not do guesswork on something I have no clue about.
Yeah.
Because if you ask me about a subject I don't know,
Yeah.
all of my answer is just guesswork and waste of time.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
but
it.
is guesswork a waste of time? What do you think, Dan?
For people who are specialized in that stuff, then they're happy. I'm not specialized in that either. I'm a connecting tissue
Yeah, I
mushroom
mean-
person, so I connect things where they belong.
Yeah, I'm only
pretty much
really,
it.
I'm not specialised in any sort of renewable energy, but I am specialised in speculating, and that does require guesswork. It's got to be
Yeah.
said.
Oh,
so-
guesswork. I thought you were saying guesswork with GAS.
You were saying
okay.
guesswork, weren't you? Guesswork. Guesswork.
Oh, guess, like
Guesswork on the gasworks.
Yeah, okay. Because I thought it was guesswork with GAS.
yeah.
Okay,
No, it's guesswork
I was
about
stuck
the
with-
gasworks,
Yeah.
but it's, I think we can speculate about turning waste matter in. I think this, if we're going to do it anywhere, this is the place.
If that's the most, the most of the matter you can find that you can turn into energy somewhere,
Yeah.
and that's why you have
But,
to
I
tap
mean-
into at the moment.
I mean, I like this idea that you can really just turn any sort of energy into usable energy. Like you mentioned solar, you've mentioned the sewage works in Thamesmead, but obviously there's other sources as well.
Locally source. If you locally source it, then you're
Yeah.
already winning, because then you have
Yeah.
you don't have
I mean,
to
are we too
travel.
Are we too sort of beholden to this kind of like national system or global systems rather than local systems?
At this point, yeah, but I would like to
Yeah,
decentralize as much
Yeah.
anything possible.
we
Maybe.
could potentially decentralize more. Do you
We
agree?
have to.
Yeah.
We should be, because if it fails, even if it's centralized, everything fails.
Yeah.
Any decentralized system is much more resilient than a centralized.
Okay, interesting.
The answer of what the human
Yeah,
what you can do with human waste,
yeah,
it's not a question of would be and how it would be.
yeah.
This right now in Bristol, a poo bus operating.
Okay, the poo bus.
Yes,
Yes.
it's
okay.
operating in poo bus. It's not it would be. It's there.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think
Not
that
this band. It was shut down immediately when it started.
Okay.
Sorry.
it was a bit of a
Oh,
shit
fake
project?
news.
But still, it's not how it would be
Yeah.
on existing solution.
Yeah, but I mean-
Don't need to guess about it. How it would be. It's done.
Yeah.
Because of the same thing, they have like a big, massive waste treatment facility. I think either in Bath or in Bristol. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I
It
mean-
was going between Bath and Bristol. It was called a poo bus.
Wow,
And
that
they
is
look-
I think that's amazing. It does show that we are making some progress. But
Someone stopped it, so
Yeah,
it
it got
immediately stopped as it started. So that's what I mean. Nothing really stays, and we're not building on these things.
Yeah.
It's just either ideas and no one's doing it, or someone will do it, but somehow it gets banned or it just disappears.
I mean, I want to pick up on this idea of the decentralized is more resilient. I mean, what does that look like in the future? Does it mean we just almost like kind of sign out of this kind of more global infrastructure and we just say, no, we're not going to do it anymore. We're going to develop our own local infrastructures.
We called it Glocal for a while. I think
Glocal.
that's still floating around. Yeah, Glocal. That's a global as a network, but local as like action-wise local and network-wise global.
You're agreeing with that? Are you doing any local actions apart from this today?
I'm doing a migraine at this moment.
Say that again?
I'm doing a migraine at this moment.
Yeah, okay.
Don't expect too intelligent answers.
Okay, well, I'm pleased, just like Ada, I'm pleased that you're actually trying your best here. So that's,
Intelligence comes out of your fingertips if you give like a keyboard or something. Like
yeah, well, we've got this. We've got this.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the most important button is this one, the stop button. But the sound, you can use it. It might help with your migraine, especially something like. You're very welcome to, this is we're trying to be non-hierarchical here. We're trying to just, get the conversation going. What are going to be the big subjects? I like what you've got to say about building local infrastructure. Is it really possible? I mean, look, we've got these solar panels here.
That's locally created energy, for example. I mean, the solar panels were not made here, but
Where were they made, would you guess?
China.
China, possibly.
Yeah.
More than likely China.
Should we be making our own solar panels?
We used to make our own solar panels.
Have you made your own solar panel?
Yeah, not the solar cells, but
How do you make a solar panel?
I did not.
You did not.
you order
Okay.
solar cells from China, you put it together.
Okay.
I ordered individual solar cells, but the solar cells made in China.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is it possible to make your own solar cells, or should we just be leaving this to the Chinese to do?
I saw some Indian boy, I think, like a teenager or some sort. He's probably not a teenager anymore. Built a solar cell out of his hair because of Asian really black hair.
Wow. Okay.
That managed to create some kind of a thing, and you have to keep stuffing it with hair because it kind of degrades. But again, you have a resource that keeps growing. There you go.
Well, speak for yourself. My hair, I don't think would do.
I'm not the best at the moment, but I used to have that black hair as well. But yeah, you need people who are hairy enough to keep going. And
Would you be willing to donate your hair to a solar
No,
panel?
I want to say something else.
Yeah.
It's like one of the technologies is working in Tamera in Portugal. Is where they not building solar panels. They built heat collectors and storing the heat in hot oil.
In what?
So they just heating up oil.
Oh, in oil, hot oil. Yeah. Okay.
Hot oil. They run the community kitchen on that hot oil, and they turn it to electricity with steam motors when they need.
Wow. Okay. Is it edible oil, or they just use the oil?
It doesn't really matter what oil. It's oil.
Okay. Wow.
it's
Yeah.
They don't need battery because they store the heat.
Wow. How long does the heat last? All night?
Depends how you. How do you insulate, but
Yeah.
they have a working system. Not only overnight, it's constantly running.
it's continuous.
Yeah.
For colder days, they have biogas generators, but it's Portugal, so these are German engineers that built some kind of utopian next level, another Earth
Wow.
there.
I mean,
they
we've got a lot of waste vegetable oil here in London with all the chicken shops and other fried food outlets.
all it needs is the Stirling engine that they invented. It's a heat difference engine, and they collect the solar heat and they heat up this oil, and somehow the air and the water being pumped, that's the cold. So the difference between the two, that gives them the electricity, and they're happy. So they don't need any solar panels at all.
Amazing. So it's just oil being heated up,
circulating
the
in the
heat
system.
differential creates the energy. Amazing.
Yeah, and they store it in this gravel.
Definitely,
German engineers in Portugal.
Okay.
Tamira.
Do you feel like German engineers are the best?
If you take them to Portugal, it seems like it does the trick, because they didn't really manage to make it in Germany, so they had to do this pilgrimage to southern Portugal, to a desert, really arid deserted land, and they've turned it into some kind of paradise with 20 plus lakes now. They're growing amazing amounts of food.
The lakes, are they oil lakes or water lakes?
No, they're water lakes.
Coming back.
Okay.
They're lakes.
Okay, wow, amazing.
Because they also use water as well, so
Okay.
oil and water.
Yeah, that does sound amazing, and maybe we could do something like that here, because as you say, it's all about documenting, but maybe there could be some actual demonstrations. Maybe this warehouse could be powered with locally sourced energy, of which there's many types around, I suppose.
There's water, there's wind, there's water, there's sun.
There's a lot of all of the above today, in fact.
So bicycle generators, that's a favorite.
Absolutely.
While people have some beans in them, they can pedal and there's power.
Yeah, I mean, I
The most
have to
basic.
say, I've tried that before, and it's fine for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, you need someone to take over.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
if party vibes helps, like if people are on amphetamines, they usually like to be on them for hours, gurning away.
It's a good way to just to kind of wind
Channel
down.
the energy,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's so many different energy sources we could be using. I will say that this Talkaoke table itself is battery powered. Although where we get the energy from, maybe we could do more of an effort of actually having locally sourced energy. I mean, back in the studio, which is just across the river. Hello, come and join us. Yes, 2 minutes. We've got Dan and Mikey. What's your name?
Scott.
Scott. Come and join us. Don't worry, there's no contractual obligation. This is Talkaoke Pop-Up Talk Show. So Dan, Scott, and what was it? Will, and I'm Mikey. At the moment we're talking about, okay, we're here. It's impressive, all the years of resistance and ideas. What Dan's saying is we need to be putting some of the ideas into action. Like, where is the locally sourced energy source that's actually driving the projections and all this stuff? We should actually be putting not our money, but putting our resources where our mouth is, and actually
Live it, not just preach about it, but live it.
Not just preach about it, live it. What do you think about that? Any thoughts on this?
A few inventions have changed the whole situation radically,
Yeah. What sort of inventions are we looking
New, more sort of free electricity type inventions and things like that could overnight would change the situation very quickly,
So if we
Not overnight, over 5 years.
Yeah. But it would appear overnight, I suppose, wouldn't it? Any thoughts on this, Scott? Any inventions? I mean, we just heard from Dan about this basically, they've got this place in Portugal. Do you want to explain it about the place in Portugal?
It's German engineers built this eco-village in Portugal, and they have their own technology. They don't use any Chinese or conventional solar panels or anything. They take the heat out of the sun and they run it in their system as oil, hot oil or hot water, about 100 degrees or 200 degrees. And they have a heat difference engine, a Stirling engine, that's the heart of the machinery. That gives them power for power tools, for everything, and the hot oil circulating is running the kitchen
And it's just
24
the hot
hours.
Oil, it's just sucking the energy from. It's just there, I imagine, in a big oil pan, just getting hot.
No, it's like pipes running. It's
Okay,
running in pipes.
Yeah.
It's in gravel insulated tanks overnight, so it stays hot, and it's just somehow running in the system, and it's heating things up, and also goes into this machine that turns it into
So
electricity.
it's kind of like a homemade solar panel. It is nice. Do you think you could do that?
Well, I mean, I think nuclear power stations are basically electric kettles. They're basically making steam for a nuclear power station, massive contraption, really expensive. And basically what it makes steam, makes an old steam engine to turn the generator to turn electricity. So it's a very expensive way of making steam, you know what I mean, to make to a nuclear power station, you know, very convoluted and over-engineered, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I do get what you're saying.
Solar steam engine, you just reminded me that I thought about that once. Like, you have a magnifying contraption, magnifies the solar rays, hit it on some black surface, that heats up a steam engine, and then, you have a steam engine without any coal or fire or anything.
Come and join us. Anyway, we're talking about just ideas for like how to have alternative energy sources. But it's a good point from Will that we're still effectively at the very beginning of the Industrial Revolution when it comes to power, because we're still using the old steam engine. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. That's what all it does really is a nuclear power station. It's basically a steam engine.
It's just a big kettle.
Yeah, a big kettle, mate. But it's a very creative, a bit over-engineered, you know what I mean, by far, you know. You know, very expensive, over-enginered, and, you know, considering all it's doing is that, you know, like your man's saying, you can get heat from other ways, you know, instead of various sort of ways. You know, there's lots of different ways of doing it, and, you know, there's not really much thought gone into it, I don't think. Yeah.
Okay. Is it about the thought that's gone into it? Is it about something else? Why are we just doing this huge? You know, you were saying earlier on, Dan, that the electricity is like an international grid of electricity. Why are we not doing it a bit more locally and just?
I think powers to be don't want progress, do they? You can see that.
Yeah.
Like from years ago, things still in place, things that don't make sense, still at the top of the bill. You know, it's all back to front. It's all done. It's all just a mind fucking manipulation. The whole lot of it, I think.
Why do they not?
We could be maybe if they took whoever's keeping us in the dark all the time. If they let that go and let all the bright minds come together, wow, this planet would be completely different.
Yeah.
This is just, basically, Paul said saying today that people want you alive, but they don't want you doing nothing.
Okay, so...
You're allowed to live, but you ain't allowed to do shit. As in, I can't walk down the street and think, oh, do you know what? I'll set up a chicken tonight. It's a good place to sell chicken. As soon as you do that, they want licences, they want this. Normal people can't afford it.
Yeah.
So then you're back working on a fucking conveyor belt for £10 an hour.
Okay, so welcome. You've joined Talkaoke. We've got Dan, we've got Scott, we've got Will. I'm Mikey. Tell us your name.
I'm Jim.
Jim. When we're talking about, like Dan sort of kicked us off with locally sourced power sources. Could we be doing more right here, right now? Should we actually be running off of all the different power sources we've got around this building, like water, wind, sun, rain? Why are we not demonstrating that? And then Will said that a nuclear power station is basically just a giant kettle, over-engineered kettle, basically producing steam. And then Scott said the powers that be don't want us to progress. They don't actually, they want us kind of almost to stay in the steam age and be alive, but not think too much, I think is what you're saying, and don't use your initiative. That'd be the worst thing. And your idea of using initiative was setting up a chicken stall. It could be anything, but it's good to have an example. Yeah. So anyway, Jim, have you ever thought about setting up a chicken stall?
No, but I think about community energy a lot.
Yeah.
It's the most exciting thing in the world because it means literally taking the power back. That's
literally taking the power back. That's
Power to the people.
I mean, should we be literally taking the power back and just sort of? Is there people that would stop us? Is it illegal to set up your own power station?
Just remember that the Panthers are still like the most wanted people on Earth because they took a little bit of power for themselves and said fuck off, and the police turned up. They are still the most wanted people on Earth. Like, you'd be very unpopular with lots of people who've got lots of guns as soon as you start making that space for yourself. We've all done this. We all know it.
Yeah.
Not saying you shouldn't do it. It's worth doing, but it's a risk.
It's going to make you unpopular with some powerful people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lose their jobs. You know what I mean? At the moment, like they're importing gas from liquid, all sorts of gas from halfway around the world and all that. Whereas almost every sewage system in this country is just allowing the methane gas to just go up into the air and wasting it. And basically, that's why import gas from halfway around the world when they're not even bothering to put a dome on top of a nuclear power. I mean, sort of sewage works. And some sewage works they do actually capture the methane gas and to run the electricity just to run the pumps and pipe in that particular sewage works. But they're not doing it over the whole place because that's a completely stupid thing way of going about it. So there are people with serious people who would lose out on their wedge, you know what I mean? Because there's a massive industry importing. You know, there's ships there especially designed for nuclear petroleum gas. There's massive pipelines everywhere. When on your doorstep, every village has got a sewage work. There's no control over the methane gas, and it's just being let to go into the air. So that's one very crazy thing that's going on at the moment. So you're absolutely right. What you're saying about the people that invested interests are holding this whole thing back. I've no idea why. I don't understand the logic. You know, it's a nuclear power station just generating steam to run a steam engine. It's a very convoluted, expensive way going about.
Is it? I mean, you're just kind of hinting here, and I just want to open up this idea that people have invested in it. So now they've invested in it. They don't want it to be like a white elephant.
It's always the same, isn't it? Yeah, it's always the same. Yeah.
I mean, what do other people think? What's the way forward here? Is it just as Dan was saying? Just get on and make your own local energy sources? Is it about persuading the government to actually, or whoever runs the sewage works, to actually be a bit more sustainable?
I think you can get out of the government, out of sight, out of mind. All the time you're being like surveillance or whatever. But if you can just, people are just going overground now, just setting up communities, just get it just out of the way. Fuck it.
So it's
leave a little paper trail so people don't come sniffing. It's like a gypsy, won't it? Behind the back of an edge, no one will even know you're there. It's kind of resorting to that. You just got to go off the beaten track to find it.
Okay, so is it about just creating your own communities away from the prying eyes?
All of these at the same time, but not by the same people. Whoever feels like drawn to one of them. Like I couldn't be asked. I actually want to set up services. Providing services that I've been doing as campaigns, and then I can make some honest living, and I can provide these services to people who pay for it something.
What sort of services would you like to provide?
I like provide energy, for example, or provide ecology for the garden and their neighbor's garden. So whatever, anything that I've been protesting about or campaigning about or try to protect, I'm thinking about reselling it as a.
I mean, that's been a strong theme of this discussion. Is like. You've kind of said it, you've spoken it, now actually get on and do it for yourself and actually do it rather than, practice what you preach. But obviously it's a lot harder.
Other people love lobbying, so they should do that. If they want to go to mainstream politics, then why do that? Why not do more parliamentary stuff?
You're better at doing, so just do it.
Yeah, because it's all, we can't really control much, so... We should do what we actually can do and just focus on that.
Okay, so do what we actually can control. Jim, do you agree on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I mean, where does that? Where do your skills and talents lie?
I haven't got very many. There's something really interesting about the idea of everyone run away and making communes and stuff. I love the idea. Obviously, it's a lovely bucolic dream, which is not to say there's not a good idea, but. There's not that much space, and there's so many people. There's so many people now, mostly because we all live in cities. We're gonna have to do this shit under their fucking noses in places. Sorry. You're gonna have to do this stuff. In their yard where they live. At some point, which means we're gonna have to do it where they can see us. Like this, like the solar punk futures are all like city-based because that tends to be the thing.
Because there's a lot of people about.
There's just decent space, and also quite a lot of the planet is going to be uninhabitable to us. We're going to have to be nomads, a lot of us. It's just how it is. Like,
I mean, what parts of the planet are going to be habitable?
Siberia, tip of Argentina, tip of Antarctica, Canada. There's a big green belt across the top.
Hang on.
I got some information about that, but that's the problem. Because what happened is that the tropics are going to come inhabitables, yes? Then the water is going to move to the north. So the strange, yes, this is gonna come up great. Oh, but no, this is gonna come. The UK is gonna sink.
The UK is going to sink.
Yeah.
Is the UK not north enough? Is it not wet enough?
It's not gonna sink. It's just the water is gonna come above it. But
Okay.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, okay.
Invitation for you. Come to Colombia. Come to Colombia.
Yeah, but isn't
yeah,
that-
Colombia.
is that where
That's
you're
a
from?
place. That's what Donald Trump want to
Yeah.
invade us.
Okay.
Because that's where the Andes is gonna be a good place to be.
Okay, all right. And we have got Ben, we have got Jim, we have got Will. I'm Mikey. What's your name?
I'm Fernando.
Fernando, welcome. This is Talkaoke Pop-Up Talk Show, and it looks like you've settled right in there, but it is basically just a conversation. We talk about whatever you want to talk about. At the moment, we're talking about, can we actually create our own systems? Do we need to rely on all these big governments and powers that be with their nuclear power stations and their, like a global economy of import?
New system is feudalism, but it's not from the land. It's from the internet. I forget the name at the moment. It's
What's this?
feudalism.
What's this?
Yes, Garfax, the economist. It's digital feudalism, right?
Yeah. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Basically, before the rich was have the land, yeah, and they were the lord of the land, and we have slaves to work for him in his land. Now is who is have the biggest computer is going to be the lord. So he have the biggest computer.
Yeah.
He's going to manage the humanity, and we are just to be their slaves.
Okay.
But they want to go back when they were slaves. There is already slavery in the planet.
So we're going to be slaves to the machine?
That's true. That's true, but
Hang on, Fernando, hang on.
no, it's true. But also the good old-fashioned feudalism is coming back as well. So there are landlords, and like I'm from Hungary now. It's happening there. It's not as much techno-feudalism. It's like proper old-school
It's like
feudalism.
old-school feudalism.
Yeah, we have a new elite, and they are taking over completely. And that's
Yeah.
it. Ooh, there's an air raid siren. Great.
Okay.
Do we have some time to have a split before the or
Your desk, I was looking for your desk. It looks really cool.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing.
Thank you. It is battery powered as well. And going back to Dan's point that we're trying to, not complain about it, but just do it in our own way. And this is your talk show, this is our talk show, we do it in our way. That's the whole point of this. So this is Talkaoke. We're here, we go around in a van, it's still diesel powered.
There's still a future.
Yeah, there is still a future. Okay, so we've got some light at the end of the tunnel. Where do we want to go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about the techno-feudalism? Do we want to talk about the old school Hungarian feudalism? Do we want to talk about Colombian feudalism? Or do we want to talk about the lights, the hope? This light, I don't know, these lights.
Party, I want to talk about the party. It's a party after, isn't it?
Is there a party afterwards?
Of course, it's party. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a rave.
So you're looking forward to the rave?
Yeah.
Okay. I've actually got to go off to another rave. I can't make the rave. But anyone else going to the rave? You going to the rave, Will?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd like to go rave with Ray. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so.
I mean, are you going to the rave?
No, I got to go home.
Got to go home. Where's home?
Norwich.
Norwich. Okay, so it's quite a bit of a way you've come. I'm going to hit you with a round of applause. It's a little bit of a muted round of applause, but it's because this is such a large space. Normally it sounds louder than that. Anyway.
It would be good if we talk about Extinction Rebellion.
Yeah, okay. You would like to...
Extinction Rebellion, huh?
What do you want to say about Extinction Rebellion?
Here, my colleague, I know he's been working hard.
Do you know each other?
Yeah, we know from Extinction Rebellion.
Okay.
I invite you to come to see my spot.
Oh, yeah.
We organized the rebellion in 2019 when we stopped London for 2 weeks, central London for 2 weeks.
That's
and it was amazing. That was.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
So when is the next one?
Okay. Is there going to be another one? What do people think about the? Jim, how do you feel about 2019 stopping London?
I miss it.
You miss it?
Yeah, it was great. It's the best moment of my life. What I was going to say though, we were talking about governments and doing governments and stuff. That's what Excel was designed to do, right? You get a whole bunch of people together, you form a community around fundamentally a very simple idea. Everyone sits down and we achieve change. Fine. Didn't work, but fine. You form a community around that. You get people to learn a new way of living, to treat each other in a different way, to, become a regenerative culture. And while at the same time, you have to harness the power of the government and say, oi, people need you, do work, go. And also, by the way, you're incompetent and not capable of doing this, and all of your departments fight each other and it's stupid and ridiculous. Here is a citizen assembly, the will of the people made manifest, talk to them. That was the entire thing. What was You have to do both. It's always you have to do both, and it's very frustrating. Like you have to send people out to the wilderness living communes. You have to eco-fy your cities. You have to work with governments because they're the people with the actual muscle to organise stuff, and you have to work without them because they're fucking useless. Sorry, it's all simultaneous there.
Sorry. Resistance and solutions are the two sides of the same coin. We need both. Just don't resist when you're not under attack. Focus on the solutions, and when they come to attack, then resist.
We are in this exhibition. We are in the solutions section. So maybe we should be coming up with solutions.
I wanted to introduce a friend that is over there. He's about the people's assemblies.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I'm going to bring him over, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll see you in a bit. Have you got a final thought for now?
Oh, cool. Still, when I find out where the party is, I'll let you know.
Okay, come over. Thank you, Fernando. We're going to hit you with an intermediate round of applause.
So I'll say something about a problem. There's a big problem with lots of plastic bottles floating in the ocean and all this kind of stuff everywhere, rubbish everywhere, piles of landfill. And basically, if they put a barcode, like a barcode, when you go to the supermarket, you have a barcode at the moment. And then if the barcode next to that barcode, something, and it said when you went in the shop and you bought a bottle of water, plastic bottle, or you bought a glass thing, and you have that, and you pay an extra 5p, and then when you took the recycling thing, you got a special skip, so you could put it back and get your money back. And so that would stop all these black plastic bottles floating around the ocean, and glass bottles and everything everywhere, and tins, all that. And overnight, that would solve all them problems,
Okay, should there be some kind of identifier for all containers, all packaging?
No, I just wanted to show the other side of this, that all the floating stuff can be turned into floating platforms and islands. So you can create habitats that don't really biodegrade that quickly because it's plastic, so it can stay for a couple of thousand years. So you can have little modular floating habitats on the sea.
Would you live on an island made out of plastic bottles?
Yeah.
You would? Okay, all right. Okay.
What I'm saying wouldn't solve the problem of, like your man saying about that's already there, the stuff that's in the ocean that's already there. I can't solve that with this. But this idea would stop more stuff getting, because people wouldn't throw it in the bin if it was worth 10p or 5p. They could go back to the shop, get their 5p on a voucher or something, or a smartphone, all the glass bottles. You'd be almost no glass bottles or glass jam jars being thrown away, almost no plastic water bottles. Because people would go, if one person can't be bothered, somebody, sure enough, a poor person would come behind them and pick it up and take and get the 10p for it, and that would stop the thing. But your idea is the stuff that's existing, the problem that's existing, and my idea is to stop the more stuff coming onto the thing.
Both ideas could happen together. I mean, we've got enough plastic.
There's something to do about the stuff that existed rubbish, but mine is to stop the more stuff joining that stuff to get everything. And all around the world, I estimate it would give about 1 billion jobs to the poor, to the very poor people. Because mostly, if you're a doctor or something poor, you ain't got the time to spend an hour to do your recycling. So you'll give it to your gardener, and the gardener will say, okay, and he'll give it to his poor nephew, and he'll go down the skip and do it. So about 1 billion people worldwide will get a part-time job picking up all this stuff. So it's a good sort of, it's not, there'd be full-time jobs involved as well, but it's a good idea to stop more of this rubbish, because landfills in places like Europe are very full already, and stuff like that.
I mean, we've definitely got to do something about all that landfill. Come and join us. Jim, have you got any views on either of these two schemes?
I like the idea of having a hand-back program. The only slight complication is, as long as they're all made out of the same stuff, it's easy. If they start being made out of mixtures of stuff, then you can't recycle them as well. It's a stupid process. I also do feel slightly bad about harnessing the homeless to pick up our garbage, but the alternative is
a kind of trickle down sort of economy.
Well, no, it's not. That is a much more useful form of local economy. You're making an asset out of your garbage. That is a good thing, sort of. Only ideally, what we want to do is burn down Coca-Cola and stop them making bottles. there are bottles that already exist. I'm confident everyone in the world owns a bottle or knows somebody who does. You could fill.
Do you own a bottle?
Is that how we do things?
Yes.
Yeah. Could that be how we do things from now on? We just stop making plastic bottles.
Okay, I mean, all right, so, I mean, this is the solutions area of this exhibition. We could have gone in the resistance area, we could have just gone in the foyer, the welcome area. But anyway, it's not that important, but we are sort of focusing on solutions here just by chance. We have got Dan, we've got Fernando, we've got Jim, we have got Will, we have got...
Dave.
And...
Rowan.
Let me give you a round of applause. It's a little bit quiet, underwhelming, that round of applause, because of the echoey nature of this space. But the feeling, the intention was there. Let me just say that. So we're talking about solutions. Will said, shouldn't every single piece of packaging, rubbish, even maybe a bottle like that, could have a QR code? The applause is still going, but barely noticed it. Anyway, who was it? It was you, Dan, that said we could be making islands out of all this plastic waste in the water. This is a plastic island, just in case you didn't know. This is Talkaoke, so you take this conversation wherever you want to take it. It's not about me, it's about you. Where do you want to take this conversation? Do you want to talk about other solutions? Do you want to talk about evaluating these ideas about what to do with plastic waste? Or earlier on, a second ago, we were talking about the legacy of 2019, Extinction Rebellion, stopping London. It's up to you. Where do you want to take this conversation?
I want to introduce you to my friend Dave.
Yeah.
He is assemblies, eh?
Your assemblies, citizens' assemblies.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, is citizens' assembly? You're saying that's the answer, the citizens' assembly?
Yeah, it's one of the answers. Many answers. We were talking that it's many answers. We have to find many ways.
All right.
So that's one of the answers.
Okay, citizens' assembly. Is that the answer, Dave? What's your thinking on any of this? It's up to you, by the way.
It is not the answer.
Yeah.
But assemblies may be part of the answer.
Yeah.
In that the systems at the moment are set up to be very divisive and what's the word when the two sides of Parliament are arguing with each other? Adversarial.
Yeah.
And the people in Parliament are not representative of everyday people.
Yeah.
Like you might
like
find.
all of us around the
all
table.
of us. Yeah. All of us around the table. So we need different kinds of ways, better ways of doing politics, which don't involve politicians.
Okay. Can you do politics without politicians? And do those people then doing the politics become politicians? What do people think? Yeah, you're not sure.
I mean, not really. I agree. Like, politics is just our conception of how the world should be, right?
Yeah.
That's all it really is. Should there be a hierarchy, or should everyone be friends? Should there, should?
I mean, does politics focus on those kind of questions, though?
It's how we conceptualise what the world should look like in a model. That's like, it's the difference between us and the chimps. There's a sort of layer of brain over the top of us that can form constructs that are bigger than your sort of tribal structure. That's all politics is. And everyone has a politics.
Okay, so we can't really avoid politics. This is Talkaoke Pop-Up Talk Show. Come and join us. Everyone's welcome. We have got Will, we've got Rowan, we've got Dave, we've got Jim, we've got Dan. Tell us the name.
Peter, but I'm not going to stay long.
Hang on a sec. If you do go, and that applies to... What happened to Fernando? Fernando, we want a final thought from you before you go. Final thoughts. Anyway, final thought, Jim.
I love the fact that this is a table, because I keep coming back to this idea that the answers are in all directions. Like, say we can harness the economy to have people pick stuff up, we can harness the waste stuff and use it as an asset, or we can go up the supply chain and stop it being produced in the first place. Like, any way you pitch this, there's an answer in every direction you want to go.
Yeah.
For everyone, people can choose their own. It'll be great. It's exciting. I just love the fact you're doing this in a round table. It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, it was said before, the circle has only got one side. That wasn't me. I believe that was in the song by Travis. But anyway, it doesn't matter who said it. It's true. The circle only has one side. Apart from me, I'm in the middle. But okay, so we've got Dan, we've got Peter, we've got Dave, we've got Rowan, we've got Will and Mikey. Where would we go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about the idea of this politics? How important is it? if we start doing politics, do we become politicians, or do we still stay normal people? Are you worried about becoming a politician, Dave, if you keep going on with these citizens' assemblies?
I think that if we could encourage more people to work in their own communities to help develop ideas to help themselves, and the politicians said, we will help you do whatever it is you want to do, then everybody is a politician on a small scale.
Okay, so almost like a sort of part-time politician.
Everybody's part-time politician, and it's not leaving it to some professional politicians very high up who are not really interested in what everyone else is doing.
So you're saying in a way that the local people could be making the decisions, and then the role of like the big politicians is just to support and facilitate some of those local actions. That would be how it works in an ideal world, I suppose. What's that?
It should be like that, but it's not really like that. I mean, when I say I've tried to get to various people about my idea about using methane gas sort of thing, rather than importing methane gas from around far corners of the world and that. And instead, when all the sewage works everywhere, and the methane gas is just being wasted, you know what I mean? And so, like, basically, politicians don't want to talk about sewage works and all that, basically. So there's a big sort of embarrassment. So it just screams a brick wall, because it's a very important issue, but, you know, who wants to talk about that, you know what I mean? So you get problems like that with the politicians a lot of the time, so there's not many good ideas coming out of politics in the central government in these, for a long time there hasn't been hardly any real movement about really good ideas. It's very stagnant in this country.
It's a bit stagnant, it's a bit bereft of ideas. I've got to say, I've been guilty of wasting a bit of methane here and there, but not today. But anyway, is that whole system, I mean, you're saying you're sort of almost inverting the system where it's the politician's job to sort of kind of grow the ideas of the people rather than come up with the ideas. Would that be better? Have we got the ideas to actually put into place?
Guys, the sewage systems in this country, the sewage systems already exist. All you've got to do is put a dome over them and capture the methane gas, and then you've got gas. And why import gas from halfway across the world with special equipment and all that? And a huge expense for this country, when it could be every village has got a sewage system. It already exists, and the technology exists already.
So it's
nothing new. It's been around. This technology's been around 40, 50 years. I've seen it around. So I mean, why hasn't any been movement? I mean, there are some sewage works that have got capture the methane gas to run their own pumps and stuff. But there's a few of them. That's only 10%.
Okay, so Will's got a strong idea.
Not even out of 1,000%, less than 1% is recycled methane gas in this country. Yet we're imported loads and loads of natural gas from everywhere, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's like nuclear power stations to make a bit of steam. Hugely expensive thing just to make a bit of steam, to run a steam engine, to make some electricity. It's so outdated, and it's Dickensian the way this country's run.
Okay. Absolutely. Are we running a Dickensian way? What do other people think? Peter, you've not said much. Rowan, you've not said much at all. Have you got any thoughts on any of these subjects, do you think? Okay, go on,
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that places like Mogden, you know, that was built, I think, just after the Second War, and Mogden sewage works, all the shit from Middlesex, basically, I think, southwest Middlesex, and they used an awful lot of that on site to run machinery. It can be done, but it requires quite a large amount of capital expenditure. And that's really why a lot of schemes like this don't get off the ground. I mean, we've seen so many good ideas. And,
give us an example.
You know, things like the Eco-Village, Runnymede Eco-Village, Heathrow, where I went to quite a few times, you know. But can you do that on a larger scale? And I think probably the answer is no.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, what do you think about do you need to do it on a larger scale, these things?
Well, it is a larger scale. If everyone starts doing it in whatever way they can, it becomes large.
Okay, so if lots and lots of people do the small scale stuff, then you get a larger scale. Rowan?
Yeah, I live in Isleworth, right next to the Mogden place. Just next to the big Allianz rugby stadium, which is hugely funded by big oil and all these things. And just thinking of Recently, I've been trying to find a water filter tap and things because Thames Water is all privatised and the quality isn't very good. It's not the worst in the world, it's okay, but you know that there's all these privatised companies like the railways or the waterways are extortionately expensive for the public, while these capitalists get richer and richer. And we're not really thinking of what the best way to use all this shit is, you know, in the sewage. Like, we could be using it for human manure, like in those compost toilets, to restore the soil and things like that. But there's all these different ways. Like, each community has different problems at different spaces. So having one size-fits-all system is probably isn't the way to go now.
But imagine something like the Alliance Arena produces a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And what happens to it all? It all just gets flushed away. Could it be used to fertilise the pitch?
I talked about this, I don't know, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But the real problem is that we mix everything up. We have a single system that deals with rainwater, it deals with human sewage, it deals with industrial waste. So you can't put that on to grow crops, for example, in the scale that we really ought to. Although, you know, there has been some done. When they built Terminal 5, they built it over a sewage farm, which had been producing fertiliser, I think.
Right.
So it takes an awful lot of planning, an awful lot of money. Small-scale things are fine, and it's good that people do them. They do add up to a lot, but you need the large-scale stuff as well, which is why I think you've got to get involved in politics.
Okay.
Now, I'm just hoping that Zara is going to lead that party in a way that will improve things, but no, I don't.
So you think politics are... I mean, what do you think about what Dave's saying about... Should politics actually evolve and the function of the politician actually changes and becomes more of a facilitator rather than a kind of, you know, a kind of originator of ideas? They're more like...
We need democracy.
Democracy. Do we not have
democracy? This country, we don't have democracy. It's not democracy in the UK.
Okay. We
need democracy. Yeah, no. We need to go back and take the streets and take the squares, because as they was doing the old days.
Fernando, what would your view of democracy be? Paint a picture for us, and then I'm going to come to Dave. I'm going to come to Dave.
He's playing there. He's playing there.
Okay, so exactly what Dave says. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
That's democracy.
Peter, what's your view of politics or democracy? Before you hold the mic, because you're standing up now. I can't read. Grab the mic.
I think we should have more that comes up from the local level, and how you organise that, I'm not entirely sure. There are models that we could look at, but at the moment, you know, you're given the chance to put a little X on a bit of paper, and often, you know, we've been dominated by two parties, both of whom basically represent billionaires. So, and Israel, of course.
Yeah. So it's got to be something different to that.
Something different, yeah. So I hope the new party will come to something, but maybe it's going to be taken over by the wrong kind of people.
Well, is it a new system or a new party?
Parliament is no adequate. Parliament is. We have this thing, House of Lords. Can you imagine that? Should be an elected. Should be a Senate. We need a Senate in the UK.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Let's give Peter a round of applause. Okay, go on, Dan.
Funny enough that in this country the House of Lords is more democratic than the elected ones, so it's pretty funny. So the system
Do you feel that that's more democratic?
Of course, because they have enough money not to be
swayed.
No, I would call politicians not even facilitators. There's the middleman between the billionaires and the people. Billionaires between the corporations and the people. We don't really need them. We could just use algorithms or AI to replace politicians. We'll save a lot of money.
I mean, would they still be, considering what people have said about...
And they are elected, so-called elected representatives, which they don't do, and they're just dismantling democracy like in Star Wars. But the ones that are born into their place and they're the lords, they should be more Star Warsy, but they're actually more democratic because they're more cultured. They're more interested in not completely dismantling everything, because the people will come for their heads on a spike because they're the rich people. So they are a bit more, they're more intelligent and more democratic and more pro-Europe.
Okay, so different ideas of democracy.
It's the same idea. It's just it's the same idea, just what we have now. It's not that.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so you are saying that the Lords may be a little bit less. A little bit less in the hold of the corporations. I've got to come to you, Dave, because Fernando's kind of bigged you up as your vision of a future politics, saying that's what he wants. But what is it? What is it? Is it about abolishing the House of Lords? Is it about changing this X in a box thing? Is it about better parties? What's your vision of a future politics? And hold the mic, because I feel like this is going to be a long one.
It's not for me to say what the future of politics should be. Can everybody listen to me?
Well, just around here.
Only around this table.
Yeah, but we are putting this online. This is going on YouTube.
It's not for me to say.
You're happy with that. Yeah.
It's not for me to say. What we should do is we should have a citizens' assembly to decide the future political system. So it shouldn't be my decision.
Yeah.
So what we should do is we should organise for between 100 and 500 randomly selected representative people from the United Kingdom to come together to learn about all of these problems, and then the United Kingdom has decided its own democratic system.
I mean,
not me or you or this gentleman here, but everybody should be deciding.
Okay. But you're saying randomly selected people, not you and I, but just some random people.
Yes.
Okay.
Just some random people.
Okay. Should we let random people decide what the future of what do people think about that? The random. It sounds a bit.
It's the people.
Yeah.
We the people. We the people organize the humanity.
Okay, so
and that's we the people, because the rich, nobody's gonna do it for you.
Okay.
Nobody said there's not gonna come from Mars to save you. Or you can. It's we the people.
Okay, Fernando,
we have to retain that the sense of the same. We the people, and we are the ones that take our own decisions and take it to the future.
I mean, would you rather get involved yourself or let a random person represent you?
Oh yeah, I've always found somebody to represent me. That's what I go over here, Dave, to represent me.
Okay, what do you think?
Because his idea is really good.
Okay, all right. Any thoughts on this side, Will?
I think the experts should be people who really know what they're on about. Because there's millions of people involved, 500 people. It's gonna be mostly people who don't know what they're on about,
Okay, I mean, how do you decide if someone? I mean, what kind of experts have you got in mind?
Well, you have to have people who know what they're on about, before.
Give us an example.
Well, I'm not sure I can do one off the top of my head at the moment, but yeah.
But what sort of person?
I like the general, the drift of the idea, but a fight to randomly select 500 people out of a population of 70 million. It's just going to end up with people who don't really know what they're on about, mostly.
Is it kind of rolling the dice a bit too much to have a random selection of people?
The state of the people is dire right now, so the power to the people thing is a bit dying off now, because education should be first, I guess.
Okay, so there's an education element in this, then maybe you're agreeing with that?
That would be the first part. Once the people have come together, then they would learn about how to learn, and they would be guided and be given information by experts in whatever topic they're discussing.
Yeah.
So they're guided by experts, but in the end it is for them to make the decision.
Okay, so you take the guidance from the experts, but then you make the decision.
They make the recommendations.
Yeah.
You said, would we allow random people? Would we want random people to make decisions? Yeah. Well, we do, because we have a jury system in this country which is very well respected, and juries are selected randomly, and we put in their hands the future of those people who are on trial.
Okay.
So if we allow random people to do that, then why not for some other decisions as well?
Okay, all right, good point. I mean, what were you saying? I heard something about 500,000 rather than 500.
Well, I mean, what I mean is, like saying with jury service. I mean, not everyone's allowed to be on jury service. I mean, they have a, but yeah, it's a general idea. I mean, the drift is very good, you know, but I mean, how to make it work practically is another story, you know, because already there's...
Would you do it? Would you be in the jury service?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, I'm sure, yeah, but, you know...
Was that yes or no?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I just want to call this person up. Come over, come and join us. 2 minutes. Yes, we need your ideas. We do. We need your ideas for 2 minutes. We're trying to design a future politics. What should it look like? Dave has proposed that it's a bit like doing jury service. We select 500 random people, I guess to be our MPs, and they make the decisions based on experts' recommendations. We have got Dan, we have got Fernando, we have got Dave, we have got Rowan, we've got Will, we've got me. Mikey, tell us your name.
I'm Andrea.
Andrea, welcome. I'm hit you with a round of applause. Come a bit closer though. So this has been electrically, not that I've got any electrical qualifications, but it has been electrically tested to be safe. We're talking about a future. Do we need a future politics? What is democracy? Fernando said we don't have democracy in this country. It's not proper democracy. Dave runs a whole... You've done citizens' assemblies before, haven't you?
Have been. They have happened before. I haven't done them, but yes, they. Okay. No, they have happened in many countries.
Yeah, and that's where you're going. And maybe you could explain. What's your name again? Sorry.
Andrea.
Explain to Andrea what a citizens' assembly is.
Okay, so in summary, let's say we have a good one might be an assembly to discuss the future of the water industry.
Right, yeah, because we've been talking about that a lot.
Everybody agrees that privatised water is a bit shit, literally. So what we would do is we would, there are ways of randomly selecting a representative sample of people from around the country, so representative in terms of age and ethnicity and education and religion and all of those other things. And it has been shown that you can, with between 100 and 200 people, you can get a reasonably representative group of people to represent us. It's been done quite a lot in Ireland, for example, and in France. So they
would
then
decide what to do with the water industry.
Come together for a number of weekends. They would learn about the water industry and all the implications of where water goes to, how it's processed, what goes into the rivers, so on and so forth. And then they will deliberate round a table, a bit like we are doing here.
But I guess it would have to be a slightly bigger one for...
Well, no, they've been small groups of 8 to 10, with a facilitator, a bit like yourself.
So there's a lot of work for me.
A lot of work, with a facilitator, so that everybody's view is heard, because some people are quiet, some people are noisy, like you know, you've been taken over. Careful.
Rowan's not said that.
Rowan's quiet.
Not said anything yet.
So,
I'm the noisy one.
And then they are helped by the organisers of the assembly to make recommendations. The difficulty then is you have to have a government which is willing to accept the recommendations of the people and implement them.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds great to me. I don't know what other people think. And would it go, before we move on and we just get other opinions about this, would it be like different people coming together? So I might get picked for water, Fernando might get picked for power. Would it be different assemblies for different issues? How would it work?
You could have almost like a rolling citizens' assembly. So the Sortition Foundation have proposed getting rid of the House of Lords and replacing it with a system of rolling assemblies. So you might be selected...
What's sortition?
Sortition is the science of selecting people at random but being representative.
Okay.
I could bore you for hours about it, but it's all about how... There you go. It's all about how you make sure that that group of 100 people is really, truly representative of, in our case, the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland, which is our country.
Okay, amazing. Well, I mean, what do other people think of that? Any responses to that? Dan?
I love it, but I would get rid of the House of Commons first, because it seems more dangerous right now. If you know, there's this meme where politicians should wear the sponsors like Formula One racers. That's the main problem that I've got.
Okay.
They're incompetent, but they are serving these things against us. So That's why I like a little bit more the House of Lords, because they know what they're doing. But
so you'd rather get rid of the House of Commons
first,
the House of Lords?
And then get rid of the other one as well. But I think I see more danger in the House of Commons because they claim to be representing us. They're not.
Any other thoughts? Andrea, have you got any thoughts on this? Would you like that idea? Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a thumbs across.
Yeah.
Okay, a wobbly thumbs up. Okay. Any more to add at this point? Grab the mic.
I'm literally going to have to run in a minute, but I think we need to learn
Come
from...
a bit closer. Don't point the mic down because the speakers are underneath.
We need to learn from other groups like when we think about our Indigenous comrades, when we think about like Zapatistas and how they organise and how they function and they rotate their kind of main
leaders
group. They rotate. I think it's weekly or fortnightly, and you know, and they think about everybody. And I think we need to think outside of what we're thinking.
I mean, would this system include everybody? I mean,
I hope so.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to think of, you know, the people who aren't represented the most. You know, we think about how many people at the moment are in politics.
An example of underrepresented people, just so we could got something to grasp. What sort of people were you thinking of?
Underrepresented. Yeah, most people. I'm thinking. I'm thinking single mums. I'm thinking disabled people.
Yep.
People with lived disabilities. Sorry, I'd rather say. Everybody across all genders, across all ages, across all ethnicities. You know.
Yeah.
We don't just want to be another group of white
Pale
folks.
male stale.
Yes. I'm gonna have to run. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution, Andrea. And yes, so
say something.
Yeah.
Because it's different levels of democracy.
Yeah.
Yes, but because you're talking about the government definition of politician. What is a politician? A politician is somebody that serves the community, serve the people.
Okay.
So we, the people, elect our representative, and they serve. They work for us. That's one level. And another level is the level she was talking about. We have to talk about the democracy that is a community level. So how we organize within our own communities, and all communities have to be organized and have to be informed and have to be active in the administration of the community.
Okay, so
back to the decentralized power, but not as electricity, but as landing power that we wield as people. Locally. More power to the local communities, and then not the central.
Okay. I mean, is it about giving more power to local communities? And okay, we've fed back on this citizens' assembly idea on this side, but Rowan, Will, you've not really said anything. Come and join us. Yes. At the moment, we're talking about future politics. We have got Will. We've got Rowan. We've got Dave. We've got Fernando. We've got Dan. I'm Mikey. Tell us your name.
Joe.
Joe. Have you heard of citizens' assemblies?
No.
No? Okay, we're going to have to go through it. Just do it a bit faster this time, though. That's the fastest you go. We're talking about citizens' assembly. We're talking about future politics. There's a lot of people here that have been campaigning for a long time and trying to do things in a different way. Yes, there's frustration. There's also some sense of achievement, but
we got a question for her. We got a question for her. If you get elected to be a member of Citizens' Assembly, that means that you have to go like a judge and you have to take a decision. Will you do it?
Would you be part of the Citizens' Assembly? Maybe we need to explain what it is first. Dave, come on, do it. Do a quick one. Do a quick one for us.
Okay, so many people would say that our politics doesn't serve us properly. So what a Citizens' Assembly is it is a meeting of between 100 and 200 people who are randomly selected from the population of the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland, but who are also representative of age, gender, religion, ethnicity, class, and all of those sorts of things. There's a whole long science of doing that, which I won't go into. So the people come together, they learn, they meet each other, they get to know each other, they learn how to learn, they learn about the particular subject that they're talking about, either democracy or the water industry or whatever it might be, and then they deliberate in small groups facilitated by facilitators round a table just like this one, and then their recommendations or their thoughts are fed into a process and voted upon, and those recommendations go into report, which goes to the government of the day, and the government is then obligated to enact those recommendations unless it's got a very good reason why it shouldn't.
Okay, thanks for that. I'm going to give you another round of applause for doing that again. So that's a citizen. So it's a bit like, as well, the people who chose it's a bit like a jury service where you kind of get this letter through the door, maybe it'll be an email, and it says, you are on the panel for water. Would you like to come and talk about the future of the water industry for what, a couple of weeks or something, a few weekends?
A few weekends.
A few weekends. Would you do it?
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome.
Okay, all right. Do you think that's a good way to do politics in the future?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you're down with it?
Yeah, because I was thinking about this yesterday. There's a lot of people who have no interest in being a politician, but who have a lot of thoughts, experience and knowledge that we need to inform how we have systems of power.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great way to circumvent having to be a career politician.
I mean, one of the things we were talking about earlier on before you arrived is like, does the role of the politician actually change in the future and become more of a, you said like an enabler, Dave, but actually just somebody that gets the people together and listens to them and does what they want them to do. I mean, you're saying as well, Fernando, weren't you, that that's what politicians should do now?
Politicians, they work for us, they have served for us, and that's exactly.
Yeah. What's that?
There shouldn't be any politicians.
You think
we need to do politics, but we don't need politicians.
Could we have a politician less politics? Could we do it without politicians? What do people think? I'm going to have a show of hands. Who says yes?
It would be far better democracy, I think, of actually having people engaged like quickly with this.
Yes.
And so just this summer I started learning more about total liberation, and I'd really want to be part of that panel of the either People's or Citizens Assembly, and practicing in both. It'd be far more better than that than voting for a party who doesn't really do what you say or what they promise anyway. So having that much more engaged roots with or routes with that way would be good.
I've got to say I like it, but my worry, and it shouldn't really be about my opinion because I'm the facilitator, but I know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up like the random thing's going to go, and then I'm going to get chosen for some really boring deliberation about, I don't know, pension policy or something like that, and then someone else is going to get something exciting. That's why I don't like the random. I've got to say, the random thing scares me a little bit because I always get, it's like eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm always on the losing side of that. I don't,
A little chaos to it, but a bit of chance as well.
A bit of chance and chaos is important.
Yeah, for sure, because we can't really do things completely hierarchical, like vertically, and things completely horizontally or unanimously never gets anywhere anyway. So maybe a balance would be maybe a bit more diagonal, like diagonal land, and also bring the perspective of thinking that anarchy or anarchism is veganism as well. So I'm going down this route of veganity to have the...
Are you a vegan?
Are you a veganist? I'm trying to learn how to be a better one. So decolonize veganism as well. We've got to think about it in more decolonizing all these different things too. So and because white veganism is a big problem. So I would want to bring that perspective. That I think most people often glance over. They don't see things from the perspective of the animals, or from the rivers themselves, or from the land itself. All these things.
Can we bring representatives of the animals and the land into a citizens' assembly? How would we do that?
Of course we can. It's a language.
Okay. Joe, you've got something on that.
Well, I really want to hear about decolonising veganism, but also there's a couple of companies, not very many, but there's a few who have put nature as a board representative on the company.
Okay.
So that a river, like in New Zealand, where I'm from, there's a river that is now attributed human rights, except it's obviously not human, but it has rights to be protected in the same way that a human does. So you
if
can't.
you like pee in the river, it's like peeing on a person, effectively.
Yeah, because that's what happens. They flush all the cow dairy industry waste into it. So now you can take a farmer to court for polluting the river. Yeah. Because it has a legal status.
Okay, so we're actually, just a round of applause for that. Esther, have you got any views on this? We're talking about a new politics. Would you be part of a citizens' assembly, even if it was on pension policy?
He's an expert.
Yeah.
There's one point I want to do. Before we discuss about politicians or anything else, we have to discuss about war. We really have to stop wars because what we need is investment.
Right.
What the man was talking about, some jokers say we privatize water and they say, oh yes, it's dirty because it comes with shit. Literally. Or he used another word, but anyway, basically the water in this country is come with shit because it's been privatized. How is that privatized water? We have to change that, and we need to do big investments to do that. And the only way is to invest in peace.
Right.
So no more wars. The wars have to finish.
Okay.
All the money they invested in armaments, all the money, all the time and effort, we need to invest it to save the planet because the planet is in danger.
Okay.
This is a fucking emergency.
Okay. All right. That's definitely a round of applause, kind of. But, okay, it's an emergency, but sometimes in an emergency you're sort of running in all different directions, and I feel like that's what we're doing as well in this conversation. Like, do we talk about the war? It's kind of up to you. Someone's got to make a decision here. Do we talk about war? Do we talk about giving rivers and mountains and animals rights like human beings? Could that stop war? I don't know.
Talking about everything.
Yeah, we've got to bring it all in. I know.
We have to do it once because it's an emergency. He's saying we have to all from all the sizes. So that democracy we have to apply everywhere. Okay. And we really have to.
So we need to get on with this, that's for sure. Joe, I mean, what do you think? How do we navigate our way through this? Do we talk about is giving the planet itself or various aspects like the rivers and the mountains and the seas rights? Is that the way to stop war, do you think?
Yeah, I think there is something really interesting in investments where people who invest money into things is often because it gives them high returns. Yeah. And there's a view that, there was a view that investing in like green energy wasn't going to be profitable or make any returns. That's already starting to become not true, but I think the problem is that if we are viewing any investment through the lens of what can I get from this, it's so short-term thinking, and that's the whole problem with
so we need to actually think
the devaluation of like our ecological systems. It's like,
but it's interesting because we're in an emergency, but at the same time we're being asked to think more long-term. So we're trying to fight the fire, but at the same time we're trying to think way into the future. I mean, how do we kind of square that circle? Because it does feel urgent. Will, go on.
Yeah, I mean, basically central government is nothing really forward-thinking is coming out of central government for a long time. I'm not sure how many tens of thousands. Is that because of the way it's set up?
A
lot of it is, the tens of thousands of bureaucrats and civil servants and politicians, and like I say, House of Lords, at least they're kind of like got some skill, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of kind of people, and nothing really as much is coming out of such a huge group of people in central government. Whereas what I'm talking about, the total waste of methane gas that's allowed to in this country, every village, every town has got a sewage works. They just allow the methane gas to go into the air. They've just built huge 2 pipelines from Norway to England, costing billions and billions of pounds pumping methane gas into England. They've done all these ships, special liquid petroleum gas ships. It all cost billions of pounds to set this system up. I mean, the guy was saying there earlier on that it'd be too expensive to put a lid over all these sewage works and capture the methane gas and then put that back into the system, generate electricity and all that stuff, or heating, or both at the same time. And it would cost a few bob to do it, of course it would, but it would be like, compared to the this huge amount of...
More long-term, that's the question.
Well, this is long-term, because once you've done it, you've done it, you see. But, you see, the guy was saying it's too expensive, but it's not really too expensive when you're talking about the billions are spent on pipelines and things that they're doing, huge infrastructure to pump methane gas from everywhere. When we're just allowing all the methane gas in this country, the sewage system, just to evaporate into the air. Okay. Apart from one or two, like your man said earlier on, he's gone now. But he said about there's some, like I said, there are some of the very big sewage works where they do sort of recycle the methane gas, but they only use that to pump the in their own little sort of sewage works, your massive sewage works in the case he's talking about. But I mean, basically, the technique is there, the technology is there, it's been there for 50 years. Central government are so dumb, these thousands, tens of thousands of people, their jobs worth.
Yeah, anyway, okay, so it's not the long-term thinking. How do we think more long-term? Even in the midst of an emergency, how do we... central government can't do it. Maybe it's because of the system. It's the culture.
The culture and the system.
Yeah.
We live in a very toxic culture that is killing everything.
What can you say a little bit more about the toxic? What is toxic about our culture?
What isn't? It's really hard to find things that are not toxic about the
Everything's toxic.
Pretty much, yeah. Even the stuff we love is toxic, so we kind of need to detox and address our own addictions and all that kind of stuff.
Do you agree?
That's the thing we have to do.
Yeah.
We have to stop wars and we have to abolish billionaires.
Okay.
It's illegal to be a billionaire. It's illegal to be a billionaire.
Okay,
It's illegal to have in your power more than you can spend in your own life.
Okay. So say someone's got £999 million, 990, and someone gives them an extra pound, and they become a billionaire. What happens to them when they become illegal?
No, it's all the world. We really have to switch. You haven't got it. You haven't got it. We have to swap the chip. We have to really, row the boat.
So, so you're saying just change the whole money system?
Yeah,
okay. So it's not just about once you become a billionaire, you're illegal. It's like even if you've got 9,900, whatever, I can't do the numbers. Even if you've got just under, you're still part of that toxic system. We're talking toxic. So much in our life is toxic now. How do we detoxify? Even the things we love, you said, Dan, are toxic.
Yeah, things that do, like, build up in a body, for example, that's not going to end up well. If you have your blood circulation is not really happening, you're going to die in horrible pain. That's what's happening to our world because of the resources are being hoarded into...
So we're almost like a toxic organism as a body of humans or as a planet, maybe, I don't know. Do people agree with Dan that we're kind of getting toxified? And can we detox? Yeah, we know from you that you see it that way, but do other people see it? Do people feel toxified?
Yeah.
Ryan, grab the mic.
Yeah. So people can call it neoliberalism or capitalism, but it's a very cancerous or parasitic economic model, which is all about exponential, endless growth. But we only have so much finite resources on one planet. They think about mining asteroids, but that's not going to come soon enough for saving everyone in the here and now.
Okay, so the whole system is basically unsustainable. Is what
that's right. Yeah.
And is there a way to sort of morph it into a more sustainable system, or do you agree with Fernando that you have to really just start again?
Yeah. Well, it depends on how long people are wanting to be very greedy and insecure and not wanting to heal their own inner pain, and they want to have all this wealth to fill in this bottomless void in their hearts.
Yeah.
That's, I think, of how
you're saying it's almost like a spiritual...
Yeah, we need a spiritual revolution, yeah, because billionaires tend to want to kind of trade their humanity for watching their portfolios or the numbers get bigger, all these things, but no one needs to be a billionaire.
Okay.
So,
All right, that's a very good point. Come and join us. Do we need to detoxify our society? That's what we're talking about at the moment. This is Talkaoke Freeform Talk Show. We have got Dan, we have got Fernando, we've got Dave, we've got Rowan, we've got Will, we've got Joe. I'm Mikey. Tell us your name.
My name is Jake. Have you got any crack?
Any what?
Crack.
Crack?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
It's just a.
Get here. I'm gonna go. I love you people. You're all great.
Come and stay for 2 minutes. Can we? Yeah.
They're arresting people. They're arresting people to put publicity about Palestine.
Yeah.
They're going. The British police is going to arresting people because you put things about Palestine, about the Israel, the genocide that Israel are committing, and they say that. And people is getting arrested because police going arrested in a home.
Yeah. Okay, so you think that's an example of a toxic situation. Joe, what do you think? Oh, do we live in a toxic society? Is it down to a spiritual deficit, as Rowan said? Any thoughts on any of this?
Yeah, I definitely think we're in a toxic culture.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to go back onto Dan's point, is that even the things we love are toxic. Do you agree with that, or are you not sure about that one? I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think there's a lot of things that are good that have been tainted.
Right.
Like I don't know, if you think about people going and being outside in nature and how that can even be turned into kind of like if you use social media, people use it as a status symbol to be like, I've gone and climbed a mountain, or I'm wearing this certain like eco brand.
Yeah.
It's
so
like those
nature's
are
been branded
nature and sustainable business practices. Even those are co-opted into something toxic. So yeah, I think you're right.
So you've got a yes from Joe. What do other people think? How do we?
You listen to the plot. You're talking about things that are we're talking about here an emergency, and you start to talk about things that have to point out. We need to talk about how we're going to sort it out, this emergency.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm going to put it to the table because I can do that. Fernando's saying we're in an emergency. We're talking about this toxic, this spiritual deficit, that. But is that going to help us in this emergency? It's up to you. We can go.
I think we have to start to establish. When you're in an emergency, what do you do?
What do you do?
Your home is burning. If your home is burning, well, I don't know. I haven't been in that situation, so I don't know. Does anybody have any experience? Have you had experience?
Okay. Has anyone ever had a?
So yeah, I'm pretty good at it. Yeah, pretty much most of my life.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a fire or any other sort of emergency?
Yeah, I'm really good in an emergency. I get very calm and my brain starts working.
Okay, so your brain actually works better in an emergency.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm designed for emergencies,
right.
more or less.
So what do we do in this emergency?
We need to turn to nature and mimic nature more, especially mushrooms. I'm trying to learn from mushrooms how to break things down, how to compost dead stuff, how to make them safe. Yeah. We can even use actual mushrooms to do that, but also just a method of how to deal with the toxins and how to turn them into something less toxic and how to turn them into an organism, how to turn the organism back into a healthy, thriving, decentralized superorganism instead of...
Is that how you see the emergency, as a kind of sickness of the planet?
No, the emergency is up to the person who recognizes the emergency. We've been in an emergency for a long time, probably. Just people are starting to realize it more and more because it's more and more apparent and it's obvious.
That emergency situation should have happened a few decades ago. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we're pretty much running out of time. So we also have to do mitigation, and we also have to do what kind of what we'll do in the worst scenarios to the less worst scenarios. We need to adapt as well to what's coming, so we need to make the best of it.
It's now time to, I want a final thought from the both of you. Give us a final thought, and it can be about anything. It's up to you.
Dave.
Okay, Dave, final thought.
My final thought is, you might not want to get involved in a citizens' assembly about something you see as boring, like insurance or pensions, but maybe think of it another way. Perhaps we should all think it is our responsibility to get involved in such things.
Okay, is it our responsibility to actually get involved in a citizens' assembly? Thank you. Final thought from you, Fernando. You can't just say, I'm saying what Dave said, because I want your own final thought.
No, this thing is great, it's really good. Is this alive?
It's not live, but I'm going to put it on YouTube. Look, here's a card.
Okay, it's amazing. Have you been around? It's beautiful thing. They did this a little thing that is the Stonehenge, and it's really cool. And the party's going to be good. So I'm going to find out what time the party is and where it is.
Yeah.
And
I've got some more cards somewhere. There we go. There's a card for you. Yeah, there's a card for you. Oh, let me give one to Will. Okay. Brilliant. That's good. The party's going to be tonight. Thank you very much. Where do we take this conversation? The emergency people have gone to, so it's less of an emergency now, or maybe the emergency. Yeah, go on.
It's basically that's about what I said about the recycling. Like machines where you can put your bottles in there and you get your 10 pence back. So every bottle has a barcode on it already. They've got a barcode in the supermarket.
Yeah.
But a barcode next to that for recycling.
This is effectively a blueprint.
Well, there's this one here. This is like a kind of a one with like all the different machines. That's one for glass. That's one for plastic. And that's glass. That's plastic bottles. This is for cans, all metal cans. You pay 10p extra for every can you get, and then you get your 10p back when you put it in the recycling bin. And there's these machines here. There's a machine there. Look, there's a recycling machine there. There's smart skips. There's skips. There's a really good picture. Smart skips. So they're like big skips. At the moment, recycling is so disorganised, it's untrue. You know what I mean? There's rubbish everywhere. But if every glass bottle was sold in the supermarket, at jars, they all had 10p extra on them, and you'd get a little barcode next to it. And, so that would prove, when you go, you smart like, same as in the supermarket when you do self-scanning.
Yeah.
And then you're scanning your bottles out, and you throw your bottle in the skip, you self-scan it, you throw the bottle in the skip, and that goes 10p onto your smartphone or whatever, or something like that. And so, I've been trying to push this idea for years. The government keeps humming and hawing, central government. It will cost £3 billion to set a system up in Scotland, for example, just for the glass tins and stuff like that. It's too much for business. But this is about the long-term future of this planet. At the moment, there's a huge amount of plastic bottles thrown away everywhere. If every bottle... Because then they're not worth nothing. These things are not worth anything. These plastic bottles and tin cans. People sometimes recycle them, sometimes they don't. But if every bottle was worth 5p, you rest assured that almost every bottle would get recycled by somebody. Somebody didn't. Say you went to the park and you left a few beer, a bottle of wine, an empty bottle of wine, and a few empty bottle of water, and you left it there and walked off. And it's sure enough, some guy would come along behind you or pick it up and get, there's £3 there, they go off and cash it in. The poor people, this is 1 billion jobs for the very poorest people, because the part-time jobs most of it would be, for people who are, incentivised, almost, I say 100% recycling, but it wouldn't be, it'd be out of 1,000%, it'd be like, more than about 1% wouldn't get recycled because people break. More out of 1,000, 99.9. So one bottle of wine might get broken, so it's unrecyclable. You know what I mean? Glass broke, but all the rest would get recycled. And if someone couldn't be bothered to recycle their stuff, they'd give their recycling to somebody else who would be bothered. So that's why I'm saying the poor people, 1 billion jobs for the poorest people on the planet. Who would get. Once the system's rolled out worldwide, so countries like China, they're worried about resources, so I think they'd like this idea, but I've been trying to push the idea for a while, but I'm not getting anywhere, they're all sort of humming and hawing and all that. And it's like about the sewage system, they're allowing all the methane gas to go to waste, whereas they're paying massive multi-billion-pound pipes and special systems to run a really complicated system where they have to import it from halfway across the world, and then they've got methane gas thrown into the atmosphere. Every village has got a sewage works in this country, and they're just allowing it all to go to waste. For sure, they could reduce.
Maybe you could also get paid to recycle your feces as well. What do people think about that? Is this technically possible?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so Dan's.
When the actual sewage works.
We used to have the analog of this back in the day. I don't know if it was a thing here, but in Hungary it was. You brought your paper.
So this already existed?
Yeah, kids were usually doing it. Like kids were bringing all the paper, the glass, the recyclable stuff, and they got some little credits for it or some money. So yeah, it used to be. You got some money back if you.
Yeah. So you think do you think it should be reintroduced?
Yeah, pretty much. It would help.
Okay. So Dan's saying yes, it's technically possible. What do you think? Any thoughts on this, Joan?
Yeah, I like what Will said about rearranging some of the systems we've already got in place and so we waste less. There's a lot of waste that goes on.
Okay, I just want to invite these people, come and join us. This is Talkaoke, pop-up talk show. We have got Will, we've got Joe, we've got Dan, I'm Mikey, come and join us. We are in the Solutions Centre here in the Resistance exhibition. We're all about solutions, and we've come up with a lot of solutions today. What's that?
It's the solution zone, as Phoenix used to call it, or still does.
Yeah. We're in the solution zone.
Like the man was saying, five random people and get them to have a sort of people's assembly sort of thing, yeah. And you get the occasional person who doesn't want to be involved, but they would be willing to put their thoughts in for a few hours, and out of 500 or something like that, you might get one person or so has got a really good idea, you know what I mean, or something like that. I mean, so that would facilitate that, or maybe they've got a job already, they can't have the time, they don't want to do that.
I think there's a question there as well about what about the ideas? How do new ideas, because we've had a lot of good ideas. We've had a lot of good ideas around this table. How do we actually get those ideas to actually be put into practice?
Yeah, well, you know what you were saying before about being in an emergency. I've lived through a few natural disasters,
have you really?
like earthquakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And so the disaster response in those scenarios is like you have your civil service, which works to get on like power and water back on and running and roads cleared, but so many of the other solutions are from community organisations who self-organise and then put a call out and then people respond to it, and it's so
what
much
kind of things are they just getting the ordinary Joe public to do?
So I mean, it was everything from shoveling silt off of people's houses and out of people's houses, like mud that came up, or it's distributing food, or it's like it's very practical, but it makes me think if the emergency that we're facing, some of it has to be a civil kind of response, which is where campaigning's super important. But I think we can't wait for the big government systems to change. We have to self-organise. So, and then the question is, well, then what can we do? Like, you're talking about
let's get super practical.
Decomposing things. It's like, well, what skills can I either learn or do I have already to help? And I think that's quite a challenging question to answer for a lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's just go around the table on that one. What do people think? What skills do people have to offer? And if we are in an emergency like the earthquake that Joe was in, we just get on and do the things we can do.
No, natural disasters are really interesting because they somehow make, every time, they turn people into helpers. You see, anything else that happens to people, if there's a mass shooting, anything else that could be politicized, it will turn people against each other. If it's an earthquake or a snow or whatever you want, flood, fire, people will just default to mutual aid and they will help each other. People that I wouldn't even expect to help another person, so we need more natural disasters maybe, I don't know.
I mean,
or capitalize on them.
The climate change is more of a natural disaster?
It's going to be a lot of natural disasters, but the sooner they come, maybe the better we get, because I don't know, people will help each other.
Well, what I'm saying is that narrative of like a man-made climate disaster almost stopping people from getting together in the earthquake kind of way.
But when it hits as a natural disaster, people will help each other. That's the thing. When it manifests, they don't think about if it's man-made or not. They just
When there's a mass shooter, you can blame the gunman, you can blame whoever's in power, you can blame a law. With a natural disaster, the only thing to blame, you can't really blame the planet for doing this thing, even if it's man-made climate change. It's still the climate's responding to what we've done, and there's only so much blame you can put on a wind or
Is the blame actually counterproductive in a way?
Oh yeah, the blame gets in the way of everyone.
Okay, so the blame gets in the way. That's an interesting thing that we've discovered there. Any thoughts on this, Will?
Oh, the blame game,
Are we doing too much blaming and not enough tidying up? And
there's a mixture of all different things. It's like to solve a massive problem like the global warming and things like that. It's there's no one sort of quick sort of like it's going to involve I think there's a lot of inventions that are being held back. It's like your man saying earlier on about for 50 years. I mean, I've been going these 50 years. I've been saying about this sewage work thing about like recycle the gas, and it's just been totally ignored by central government. The only thing the sewage systems are controlled by the government in this country, not privatised, and they're basically only a few of them are actually being recycled in methane gas, for example. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That's just one example.
That's just one example. I mean, we can get 30% of our gas from that of this whole country. It'd be easy, and sure, it costs a few bob to set it up. But once it's set up, then it's set up, you know what I mean? And central government is just literally, they're sitting on their hands.
But I mean, is it worth, actually, this is the thing, is it actually worth blaming central government if it's not going to get us anywhere? Should we maybe be trying to more kind of coax or encourage people to do stuff rather than blaming? In a way, if you blame nature,
No, the blame shifting is part of the toxic culture that is the mainstream. But this was not blaming. It's just pointing out what's holding it back. That's different. When you recognize parts of the machinery that you need to take out to make things flow, that's not blaming. That's analytical thinking. Really.
So there's an element of analytical thinking where you're just looking at the system and how do we actually, you're tinkering with the engine, you're kind of, you know, fine-tuning. That's not necessarily blaming, but sometimes it can look like that if you're saying this isn't working very well, how do we change it? But if you start pointing fingers, then it makes it more difficult maybe. I mean, I sort of feel like we're coming into the last 15 minutes of this session because I need to go and get my van, diesel van. There you go. But it's not.
Just say one thing. It's fun to say it out loud. That they do point back. That's what happens when you start pointing. They point back, and that's what governments are doing as well. And the big guys now they're pointing at the small, everyday people. Like it's because of you. So they're gonna deny them more freedoms, do all sorts of horrible things with them because they get shifted the blame to. That's what happens now.
The blame is almost like a game of tennis.
Exactly.
Gets kind of shifted around. How do we do less blame and more action? Could be a good question to answer. Any thoughts on that one? It's a tough question.
Yeah.
We could do the tough thinking music. And where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, sorry, I did the burp one.
Check out the blame game for
Yeah. How do we actually? Just check out.
You just check out. You just police yourself if you start blaming yourself or someone else for something, and don't blame. Just don't.
Okay, so just be aware of how you're blaming other people, and maybe think about that.
Don't blame yourself either. It's just don't blame anyone or anything. Just look at the problem, see how you can fix it, how is the best for everyone, what's the most optimal solution, and just do it.
Okay, so just forget about blame, and we actually blame. It's a good point as well, Dan. We're actually blaming ourselves a little bit as well. Any thoughts about how to actually just almost, because you're talking about getting rid of the toxicity, maybe that blame is part of the toxicity, but how do we actually, almost kind of just relieve ourselves of this kind of blame culture? How do we actually do it? Any thoughts? I've got literally no idea. But any thoughts, Will? Joe, have you got any thoughts?
I mean, maybe the first step's to realize there's a huge blame game going on. I'm going to be thinking about that after this. But then I guess the next thing is to go, well, instead of spending all of that energy thinking about it or getting angry and directing it at someone, directing it to action and be like, even if it's small action today, bigger action tomorrow, just going every time I want to blame someone else, what can I do? What can I do? Combat it,
So think about what can I do? What can I actually personally do? Any thoughts, Will? I know it's a tough question.
Well, I think like I said, solving massive problems and things like that, it's never really usually one thing, but blaming some companies that are really cheating and causing a huge amount of waste when they could be doing it a bit better, that is part of it, blaming things. It's more rather than blaming, it's exposing.
So you think the big companies should be held to account?
No, it depends what they're doing, but if some companies sometimes a little bit of attention, they don't if they're doing something wrong, if they're caught out and someone expose them, they suddenly change and improve their technique, well then that blame game part did work, So but the general thing of blaming things is, I mean, you know, I think it's solving a lot of these problems, a mixture of different ideas all coming together. So like inventions to, you know, stop global warming, and sort of blaming firms that could be doing it better. You know what I mean? So better practice, and so it's a part of that. But just blame game anyway for no is the point. You know what I mean?
Okay, so there is a thing about holding companies to account. Go on, Joe.
Yeah, I think instead of blaming, like you can get rid of the blame. Yeah. But we still have to. People have to be held accountable. Yeah. Or companies have to be held accountable for their actions. I think those two things are different, though.
Okay, so blame and being accountable are two different things. I feel like the TV's now run out of batteries. I do have a second battery for it, but I'm thinking that's a sign to just wrap this up. But let's maybe just get a final thought from each and every one of you. And it doesn't have to be about blame. It doesn't have to be. We talked about lots of things. We talked about
transformation is within. You have all the responsibility and the right and the power to change yourself, but you can't force it on other people. So always start with yourself. Yeah. And
but how do you turn that into a movement if it's just you?
Well, do it in front of people. I'm trying. Sometimes it's a bit awkward because other people are addicted to blaming and finding whose fault is what. And then I start twitching and I keep saying, like, why do you have to blame me? Because I just look at the problem. Yeah, but the way I do it is I do it my way, and it doesn't involve blaming, and it's much nicer, to be honest.
Okay, so it's nicer for you as well. I'll give you a round of applause for that. Final thought, Will?
Well, I'm going to say, like, I've been vegan for 45 years, and basically what I've noticed, if I buy products of vegan, I go into a shop and there's not many vegan products years ago, and so if I buy that product, and something like cane that product because it's a new vegan product on the market, I know the central computer will notice that product is selling, and they'll keep it on the shelves. Yeah. And so you're like so,
I mean, do you feel like there's more vegan stuff now than there used to be?
Oh, totally. When I first went vegan, it was almost impossible to get everything, and it was all like, you know, it's all soya and soya. And now, of course, I found out soya is not necessarily the best thing in the world. But back in the day, it was the only thing there. You know what I mean? It was like incredible. You know, 45 years ago, I think there was only about 30,000 vegans.
How many vegans are there now?
Kathleen Janaway used to run it then, you know, and she was very good at running for about 30 years, the Vegan Society. Yeah. But now, I think there's about 500,000 in this country or something like that, and probably more. You know, but compared to 30,000, you know.
Okay, so that has happened, and you've decided to change, and that's led to a much bigger change. We're just doing final thoughts now, so you've come at the right time to give us your final thoughts so we can get a sense of closure to this conversation. We talked about lots of things. We talked about politicians, we've talked about doing our own politics, doing our own thing, not blaming other people, different technologies that might help us, just getting on and feeling good about doing stuff, emergency or think long term, or maybe both. So it's all of these things. Have you got a final thought for us, Esther?
Just make people happy.
Make people happy. Even if that means driving them in a fast car? Yeah, okay, make people happy. Okay, all right. Just make people happy.
Yes.
Okay. Are you happy?
I am.
All right, we've made some progress already. Okay, Joe, final thought.
My final thought is how can we bring that disaster response that I've seen create community really beautifully? Like, how can we actually capture that and do more of that? That's what I'm going to think about.
Okay, so it's almost like I feel like it's almost like a sort of nurturing, almost like a kind of horticulture of community.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll give that a round of applause. And that's it. I feel happier after having this conversation with such wonderful people around the table. Thanks everyone for joining. I'm definitely happier, so I'm going to hit that as well. And I just want to say Köszönöm szépen to the Hungarian contingent, just because why not? And thank you very much to the Anglophone side on this side, and this has been Talkaoke. You can find us online at thepeoplespeak.org.uk where we post this video. We'll see you there. Come to the next one.